shut the door real quick. Alrighty, welcome to the Spek versus. Ooh, we have the wrong names on this. We have to change that here in a second. So it's already 2-1. First game here. We've got Scott versus Spek. Scott being up 2 points at the very back is fantastic. So here we go. This right here chooses scores. This chooses the camera angles. So I can just hit this and just switch the camera angles like this here. And if somebody gets a point, I just touch that and it does an instant replay, which is awesome. So Spek has possession of the puck. I can even turn this and you can be on the camera with all of us here. Everyone can hear us talking. It's kind of fun. Oh, good shot by Spek there. Did you see that? So he brought it up and then went for the cross and got him on the cross right there. Fantastic shot. The projected winner of this game is definitely Spek. We got the names wrong. We'll fix that in just a second here. But we'll just say the guy on the right, he is the projected winner. I think that Scott is ranked at 12th, and right now he's going against Idaho 5th. I think that Spek is in 5th place right now. So that's basically how this thing's run right here. We can switch it now to camera center, camera left. Here's the points and replays. It's actually really fun. And then while we're talking, this is all being recorded so that people can watch this later. So, are you mic shy? Oh, gotcha. I didn't realize. Okay, I'll just talk for you. This is such a great game and it's amazing.
Don't sound like that.
Prove it. All right. Anyway, so that's how this thing is done here, and it's really kind of fun because we're growing so fast that now we're starting to need help. We need people to commentate, like right now. We're needing people to take scores. We're needing people to
I can get Brendan to ref.
See, and that would be awesome. Are you guys? Well, I don't want to keep you guys later. Oh, did you see that cut shot by Spek there? He brings it up the middle. Actually, I think it was a cross.
It was a cross.
Ooh, and it's instantly returned. Another cross, except this one's by Scott. This is what happens when you play 2 and 2 fast together. That plays 2 replays. Spek is definitely the projected winner of this game. So we were in the last game. We were like, who's gonna win this?
Can you go get the card in the garage?
Yep. Where's it at?
Down the street.
Okay.
That way.
Will do. Someone left the garage open, so I went out and closed it. The garage was left open, so I closed it.
I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry.
No, really.
Is it raining?
Nah, no, it's fine.
I haven't even used the garage door because the car is on the street. So.
Alrighty, so like it's 4-3, and like I said, the real expected winner of this game is Spek. Why? Because he plays at the arcade more than once a week. He plays at my house once a week, and he has trained with actual, like, I mean, I don't know where they ranked at the time, but top 10 in the world players. And he studies them. He watches their every move. He's a very smart player. To even see Scott up right now is a surprise. But here's the thing. Scott is brand new to air hockey. And he's been asking all the best questions. Hey, how do I improve? Hey, what shot will work against this guy? Hey, what do I do against Spek right now to make this work, right? And so it's kind of like what you have here. Someone that's super trained and has done this for a while now. And that's the guy on the right here. And then you have this guy on the left, Scott, who has a ton of drive to win this game. And he's definitely, I think what he has is the element of surprise against Spek. Spek is not expecting this to be that tough of a game because Scott is ranked a lot lower than he is, right? Ooh. Point by Spek, bringing it up now 4-4. So you said that you were watching the Brandon game, and who's winning right now on the game that they last played?
So they're tied. But if Anthony wins one more, he wins the whole game. But if Brandon wins, they've got one more after that.
Gotcha. So sounds like the other guy's up a tiny bit over Brandon. And see, Scott does this really weird style where he like takes it and gets really, really close to the line. Ooh, that worked. It's now game point to 4, Scott. He goes for the shot. He messes up. He regains possession and takes the last point. This now gives him the first game in this best 2 out of 3 sets. Give me 1 second here.
Alright, I'm gonna go check on Chewy.
No problem, go for it. And I'm gonna run out there and talk to Spek real quick because we need to get the names set up in here. Wait! Hold on. Up here. It's where? Oh, right there?
Yeah.
Oh. Perfect. And now you're on. Are you on the left side now?
Yeah.
Okay. You got this, man. Just slow it down. Don't let him get to you.
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I just told you what it was.
Oh, sorry. I saw that.
I won one match up. Once I lose, if I really quit, I don't get the lead.
Okay, gotcha.
Ready?
Alright.
Alright. Talk to you later.
Sorry about that, folks. We are ready to rock in the second game now. We got the names set. I should have muted the mic for that whole process, but you got to hear firsthand the intricate workings in Idaho air hockey. Crystal, just checking in, making sure that you're able to see the game right now, making sure that it's all working good. I'm gonna try to log into it too and see if I can see and hear it, because now you got me concerned that we're showing the wrong thing. Looks good so far. Oh no, Scott flubs on himself. Makes it up now 3-2. Spek goes for the cut. Scott's able to block it. And that's something I find, every person has their own style and how they play. And Scott got the nickname Alley Cat at the start because whenever you would shoot against him, if you're watching like right now, if you shoot against him, his shoulders pop up. But he stopped doing that. But at the very start, his shoulders would pop up when you'd shoot against him. And so we dubbed him Alley Cat. And but he's really grown past that now. And now he makes these like surgical shots against you, almost like a fencer now. He brings it up to the front and he does this like a fencing shot. And it's quite deceptive. I just talked to Spek a second ago and he said, it's okay, I know how to beat this guy. I know how to beat him now. So Spek he's feeling like he knows how to take Scott out, but we'll see. Oof. Maybe he was right. He went for the diamond drift and goes straight into a cut. A cut is when you shoot the puck and it goes into the left side of somebody's goal without it hitting a wall. So it's sort of like a straight shot, but not into the middle. It's like a straight shot, but on the side of the goal. Specifically the left side. Scott's right arm, where his right arm is touching, that would be considered the cut side. Ooh, Spek lost possession and gets it back. Goes for the drift, goes for the shot, and there it is. Cut shot. You notice the Idaho players, actually many players, will use something to cover their foreheads because, believe this or not, it gets really sweaty playing the game. And if you drip sweat onto the table, it will actually make the playing surface really bog down and your mallet will move a lot slower. So we actually keep like a bottle of rubbing alcohol so that it quickly dries so we can wipe down the tables after certain games if someone's like sweating on it. Ugh, that was a bummer of a last goal. No one ever wants to score on themselves, but now it's 7-3, meaning that Spek won his first game of this set, tying it up. We're now going to be jumping into the third game.
Hey,
Take it off.
yeah. I'm challenging Anthony.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Thank you for coming by. All right, we're jumping into game number 3. Ooh. And Spek takes the second point there. Did I not reset it correctly? Give me 1 second while I fix these points here. Sorry about that, folks. Still getting used to this whole thing. It's now 2-1 Spek. They've each won 1 game. Whoever wins the best 2 out of 3 sets wins this challenge match. And the set is won by the best out of 4 games. So those dots that you see at the top of the screen, the first person to win 4 of those wins the set. Somebody has to win 2 sets to win this. What's up, man?
Yep.
Trying to fix these scores. I don't remember the score of the first game. Do you remember the score of the first game? Scott had 7.
I wasn't paying attention to this game, sorry.
No worries. I will just backfeed it.
Especially doesn't help when I'm dealing with ghosts. But, nah, nothing.
Okay. Let's yes, keep it to commentary here. So, you know, we were all expecting Spek to win this one pretty handily just because he's played so much. He's so smart about how he plays, but Scott's actually giving him a solid run for his money. Spek did say today that he was not feeling super energetic because, you know, he had a long drive to get here. And he actually got almost all the way here and then forgot his tablet and had to get back home and get that to bring it in so that we could make this all work. How to reset this?
Spek using his trickery. Not fooling Scott, though. As Spek is patiently waiting for a shot, and he missed, and he went back to Scott.
Yep. Ooh, Spek loses possession. Scott retains it. He goes for the cut, but it was readable, and Spek was able to block it. But once again, Scott has possession again. It looks like, oh, there he goes. He loses it there. It looks like, you know, Scott's actually playing a pretty good game regarding, you know, possession time. So it was 7.
Yep, sounds like an absolute brawl out here. We're getting ready for the battle. As Spectre scored another point and took the lead.
Yeah, he's got the cross on him there. Off the table. I want to be able to fix this. This is not working the way it's supposed to. Maybe I can fix it after this game. Oh well. Spek loses possession again. Scott retains it right down the center. Never a shot that you want to see because it's the most easily blocked shot. You know, right down the middle. He switches to his left hand. Scores on himself. No one wants to see that happen.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Ooh, goes into the goal, bounces out. Spek has possession now. Goes for the left wall over.
Not quite. It's still Spek's. And he took a direct hit to Scott's heart. And he shoots himself in the foot.
Yep, that's the game. 7-3. Spek now has won his second game in this match. 7-3. And I need to reset a few things here.
And we'll be right back once everything is situated, ready to go.
I think that good. Let's do that. I think that should be good right there. Let's take a look. Nope. Why did it count that wrong game? Hold on. You know what? We're just gonna keep doing it like this until it gets fixed. It's like we're on the wrong set of games. 1, 2, 3. This should be game 4. Oh well. 1-2 now. Oh, beautiful left wall over, and that's one of the advantages that Scott has when he's playing with his left hand too. Although he had done that one with his right hand.
He's flipping hands, which is, it almost looks like trickery, but it's really just an incredible skill. As we tie the game 3-3.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about left-handed players because they have one shot that's over right-handed players, and that's the left wall shots. It's just like right-handed players generally have the right wall shots over left-handed players. And so he is trying, and he's let me know about this. He's trying to use his right hand for a lot of offense and defense, but he uses his left hand for offense only. So you see how he's on defense, and he switches back to his right hand.
And
Ooh.
Spek
Scores on himself.
shot himself in the foot. You don't want to do that to yourself.
Beautiful left wall over.
And talk about a comeback shot.
So you see how he's now got possession of it. Then he, at that point, is when Scott will switch. If he has possession for a few seconds, he'll switch to his left hand to try to get a left-handed, like a left wall on him. One of the things that Scott's been working on, and it seems to be really proving, you know, that's not a good. Anyway, I don't want to see that. What's proving to be beneficial is that his shots are getting to be less readable. So one thing that you want to avoid in air hockey is you want to avoid having your shot be expected, right? Having it be, you know, telegraphed. And Scott used to be, oh no, that's game 7-4. Could you go let Spek know that we need him back here real quick?
Yeah.
Before they start the next game? That'd be awesome. So 7-4. Give me 1 second to change the scores here.
Is that 4?
Yeah, 7-4. Who won that one?
Me.
Oh, shoot. This way.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, and then now I need to switch it, right? Now is when I
Yeah,
can do
now
the
it's
one.
game
Wait,
5.
wait, but I needed to go back in and do the point spot for who won it.
So it's red.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
3.
So now let's see if I got it working here. So it should be game 5.
So
I did it. Just waiting. Wait, why are you resetting everything?
reset stuff to 0.
We have to do that every time now? Oh, I see.
You forgot to do a score right here.
Well, right, that's what I've been running into. So I've been getting this so that it's correct. Okay, so that should be good to go now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott's on the left. All right. Good luck, Chance. Spek is not only a fantastic air hockey player, but he's also a fantastic tech guy. He's glad he's on the team.
He's our technician.
Yep.
Always need a good technician, huh?
Should we call him the Specnician? No, that doesn't work. It does it.
Nah.
All right. Starting after. So Scott
Spek.
now is ooh, that was a
Oh.
great shot. Scott's now falling behind though. He has to win 4 more games to win the set. Spek only needs to win 1 game to win the set, as you can see at the top of the screen with those dots there. And then once again, this is best 2 out of 3 sets. He's going for the slow drift. Goes for the cut. It's blocked. Loses possession. Scott sets up the shot. Blocked once again.
And it's now Specs that he's ready to shoot into himself. That's just not pretty.
No, but I will say that he's actually done that quite a bit this game. That's unlike Spek to be doing. I think that has to do with how tired he is right now. Scott is doing a fantastic job of taking him on, though. I don't think I've seen somebody push Spek this level. Either it's, you know, someone who's barely above him that wins, or he's above somebody and dominates them. And usually there's a pretty thick wall between his skill level and anybody that's immediately below him. Ooh,
That is
great,
cool.
great right wall shot. It was perfect.
Yeah, hit it to set up the next shot. That is so
Yep.
cool.
Spek gains possession.
A little bit of trickery.
Yeah, but his cuts are going towards the center. There you go. That's one that hits a little bit to the left of it. See, once again, you never ever want to aim for the middle of someone's goal.
What's the game count?
The game count is 3-1 Spek.
Is this the
The
first
top of the
set?
screen. What's
Is
that?
this the first set?
First set.
Oh.
3-5 first set. So Spek, if he gets 2 more points, he wins first set.
Well, I'm heading out.
Later, man. Thanks
Later.
for coming out here. Thanks
Yeah,
for
no
helping commentate too. Awesome job on the commenting.
I'll be
I
here
love
Monday.
that, by the way. It's so
Huh?
good. Love the jersey.
I know, sexy.
Later, man.
Where'd you guys get the jerseys?
He had his from a different thing. I had mine special ordered, and we're gonna see if we can get some sponsors and get us all some jerseys. I think that'd be awesome if we all get all the people that are on the ring. Are you gonna go against someone to see if you can get on the list?
I'm not too sure yet. I've been playing pretty well. I mean,
Spek takes the fourth game, which means he won that set 3-7. So now we're gonna be starting our next set.
Yep, we'll be right back after the break.
Actually, we're gonna stay. We're just gonna stay doing commentary throughout.
Oh!
We'll set the match. Yep, that's what we're doing now. So now we go to the match break. The problem is for this next one is this where we go and we hit. Let's see, Spek will let me know here. Is this when we reset all? Okay, we got everything set. It's gonna keep us in track. Do you have this written down anywhere?
No.
You guys aren't writing it on the board out there? All right. What's up, brother?
Do you want to come say hi?
No man, no worries, man. We're doing commentary. If you ever wanted to jump into commentary, just let us know. It's quite fun.
I'll thank you about
I'll
it.
take that as a yes. All right. If you guys haven't written this down, I'll just take a quick picture of it.
I'm heading out. We'll see you Monday? Or Friday?
Friday?
Hey, you coming Fridays?
I will say probably not to this one.
Oh, you coming Friday?
I did this last Friday.
Yeah.
I did last Friday, but
No,
Sam
Saturday.
wasn't there. Oh, shut up.
What's going on Friday?
Oh, it is at the arcade.
What?
Just-
hockey meeting at the arcade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, who's gonna be on which side of the table is the next question. Oh, wait, did you want to set this so that way it plays those? Here, scooch back real quick.
Yeah.
We'll be right. We're just still hanging out here, folks. Just switching up the replays so that we see the correct game. We've done a lot of challenge matches today. I think 6 in one night.
That's
So-
insane.
Yeah, we've done a lot. Man, you guys had a close game out there. I will say, I mean, you had him up. You had him up on the first game. What changed?
Well, he's getting familiar with my patterns and stuff, so I really do have to mask it a lot better.
Yeah.
Combined with accuracy, that's just the point of my existence. Is that the accuracy with those trick shots, with those mask shots.
Your opponent is right in the same room as
It's fine. So I would say what Scott, what you should work on is you're doing these shots now and you're reading them up, and you're still doing them readable. So ask yourself, is this setup I'm doing, would it work for both shots?
Yeah.
In fact, trick yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to do a right wall, then do one. And then tell yourself again the next time, I'm going to do a right wall, then do one. Then tell yourself, I'm going to do a right wall, but then when you swing for it, as you're swinging for it,
Yeah.
switch to something else.
Okay.
But not until then. Because if you tell yourself you're doing something, then your body's going to reflect it.
Exactly.
Right? So you need to trick yourself so that you could trick him because he's reading your shots and he's blocking.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have watched how you did that. But I think that we're good to go. All right, you guys can pile out of here and I'll dive back in unless you want to say something, Spek.
He's going down!
He's going down! He's going down! Come on, brother!
I gotta see the number of your jersey for a second. Hey, you got lucky number 7.
It's me, man. At work today.
Do you win the game?
Are we going to be on the bottom right now?
I was resetting it.
Okay.
Did you play some challenge matches today?
I played, the first one was against Sam.
Oh.
It was number 1 in Idaho versus number 2 in Idaho.
Oh, and
Sam's- Sam's finger wasn't feeling good, so he didn't take the win on that one.
Meaning you won.
Oh, yeah.
You're the number 1.
It was pretty handily won. I don't think he won a single game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still number 1. But that's just until one of these guys rises up.
Yeah.
Spek is getting really close to my level. Jacob was getting so close, and but he moved away. Left wall over, and did he do it with his left hand? So that's his like power shot right there. He switches to his left hand and does a left wall. Let's see if he does it again. See, he's switching to his left hand. The thing is that he does become predictable because he does a lot of those left walls. See, once again, left wall. So if he switches to his left hand, he's a little bit predictable that he's probably gonna do a left wall with it. Let's see if he goes as a straight shot instead. There it is. That is perfect. Now he's shaking up his shots. Left wall and a straight with his left hand. He's using his right hand for defense and his left hand for offense.
That's cool.
That was a great right wall over.
Yep.
Over meaning that it went over the mallet. If you see here, Scott pulled back and it went over his mallet on the other side of the goal. Ooh, Spek loses possession. Scott sets it up. Is it going to be readable or not? Nope. Perfect cross. I call it cross. We hit the right side of that goal. Now putting Scott up 3-2.
And Spek is waiting for his target as he hits the shot and makes it a tied game. I need to get closer.
Yeah, you can get closer.
I was way back
So-
here for Spek earlier, so.
Cover for me for just a second. I ain't gotta be right back. I gotta go say
Yeah,
good night.
yeah.
Good night to my kiddos. So I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Don't go too crazy.
I'm not gonna go crazy. Okay, I lied to him, but go a little crazy, guys. I think we just saw Spek make a score. I need to find the button. There you go. Now, we're back in the game. Scott, Spek. Spek is winning by a point. Buying this time, waiting for a shot. And doing a little trickery. Trickery is a little fun at times. What I've noticed from watching Spek a lot is that he actually does a lot of tricks. Maybe he needs, just a thought on my end is that maybe he needs to tone down the tricks a little bit. He likes the tricks, but yeah, if you do too many tricks, then you become predictable. So, we got Nathan back into the game.
Point. Spek 3-5. Can I catch the replay on it? Let's see if I can catch that replay. That looked great forehand. Beautiful.
Wow.
So Spek brought it back up. Scott was in the lead on this one, and it looks like Spek's not letting him have it. Ooh, no!
He hurt his hand. I
He
saw
hurt
him
his
flick
hand.
his hand, and it went in.
The
Right here.
Did it hit his right hand?
I thought it did.
If it hit his right hand, then that might have been out of play.
Ooh.
But we don't have. Well, I don't know. It depends on what they would have called it, but it looks like I'm not calling it so.
Oh. Well, I mean, this is probably one of the reasons why referees might be important. Is because of moments like that where it's like,
You want to be the referee?
No, not being
And that's
the referee.
exactly why we don't have one right now. You and I are the referees for this game, basically. We're overseeing the game. So if we see anything fishy, we can go and let them know about it. So
I guess we don't have any people ready to.
we had a lot of people earlier. Today was, I think, the most we've ever had. 4-7. Spek now takes the second game now. First game for the second set.
Yep. We'll be right back, folks.
Nope, don't say that. We're going to stay right here the whole time. We're not going anywhere. We're going to follow through with this. It looks like they're just going to start right away.
Oh.
So we're going to just dive right in.
Sorry,
to
I'm
game
just
two.
used to our old setup where we would have like a minute break, and then like when the set ends, it's like 7-minute break.
No, these guys are serious. They just want to play through this real quick.
Yeah, they want to end this now. They're bloodthirsty. It sounds like.
Third set of the game, or third challenge match on that we live streamed in the you can kind of see when we switch the camera over to here, you can kind of see there's another table in the back there. There's actually 2 tables. And right this second on a table further back is another challenge match happening right now between Austin and Andrew. Oh, good shot by Scott there. And so we have just a mad brawl to see what everyone's seed is going to be, which is why everyone's challenging each other like crazy, because we all have 1 month to challenge each other to get a good spot. And then once November hits, as soon as November 1st hits, early in the morning, 12:01 in the morning, November 1st, we lock it in place. Wherever everybody was, that chooses where they're going to be in the tournament in November.
Oh,
So-
there's a tournament in November? I didn't hear about this.
You haven't been here for a while, and I posted it all on Facebook. So we got it all on Facebook. We got
I
so
need-
this is a perfect time for me to explain it to everybody.
Yeah!
It sounds like one of those commercials. That's crazy. What's that phone number? I'll tell you that phone number. Okay, so we are right now getting a seeding chart built. Top 16 players in Idaho get to play in the tournament that's happening there. So if anybody wants to play the tournament, you included, you have to challenge somebody on that list and you have to beat them. Right? But it's not just that. You also want to get a better place. For example, the very first games, they all have to equal 17 because there's 16 players. So player number 1 would play player number 16. That would equal 17. Okay? That's the first game. Player number 2 would be playing against player 15. Right?
Oh,
so
that's just brutal.
it is brutal, and then they all get kicked out, and it works its way. That's how a seeding chart works. So today, Sam went up against me, number 2 in Idaho versus number 1 in Idaho. And if he had won that, he would have had a better seed, right? And he would go against the easier players at the start. It's very important to have that good seed. And so right now, Scott is challenging up. I think he's 12th in Idaho, going against 5th in Idaho. If he wins this, it would push Spek to 6th, and Scott would be 5th, and he would put him in a really good spot for a seed. Basically, the way that a seeding chart works is, let's just say there's 16 players like there is. The top 8 go against the bottom 8. So you want to be in the top 8 if you want to have your first match be against somebody that's technically ranked below you. Right? So right now, Scott, if he's 12, he is on the bottom half of that list. I don't know if he's 12. I'd have to go out and look at the list.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
changing
have to,
so much. Yeah.
I know the list, so I need to check it myself.
So everyone has all of these weeks. So there's now this is a week 4. We've got 3 weeks left until we freeze our bracket. So you only have 3 weeks to challenge somebody if you want to get on that list. And then once the bracket starts, it's not going to be a 1-day tournament. It's going to be like 11 days. It's 11 different days. So we're going to do 2 challenges in the first day and 2 the next day and 2 the next day, or not days, sorry, every week. Every Monday is going to be a challenge match for the tournament. Best 4 out of 7 instead of best 2 out of 3. There'll be a bit longer matches to watch. And they're going to be epic. They're going to be really fun and drawn out. And it's going to be really high-end air hockey because everyone's going to be playing because they know that if they lose, they're out. It's not a double elimination. If they lose, they're out. So it'll be really fun. So right now, these games are the best 2 out of 3. They're just doing really fast games to see who can get the better seed right now.
That is why I was recommended earlier to play some air hockey, actually. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. I will say, though, that you haven't gotten a lot of practice yourself, bud. And so, these guys have been practicing and practicing and practicing. So
I know.
Your chance of breaking into the top 16 are actually very low.
I know. I didn't ever do a challenge match just because, I'm working on my skills. I don't think I'm, ready for, a massive tournament yet because I am still working on my skills as an air hockey player. Yeah. So, maybe you see me in the future. I'm not too confident. I'm not too sure.
It's funny because it's so different. We have so many people that watch this and they say, I could beat that guy. That guy, I could beat him super easily.
No, that's not me.
And it's different when you actually are on the table, huh? And when you're playing against somebody, just the amount of control they have. And you can see that after each shot, you see how Spek stops it again? He stops it, he controls it, he takes a shot. If he gets it back, he stops it again. He controls it. And you see brand new people playing air hockey, and they just hit, and they just keep hoping. They don't even look up to see where they're aiming. And you can see the amount of control he has right now on this puck, right? I see that, one of the things I'm seeing Scott do you see how when he blocks, he's pulling his mount almost all the way back. So he's leaving himself open to those straight shots. Oh, he set it up. He misses the shot there, but he got possession back. If you are just now tuning in, we are on the second set. Spek won the first set. He just needs to win this set, and he keeps his title. Scott will need to win this set plus the next if he wants to take the Idaho number 4 away from Spek. Spek is right now, or no, sorry, he's number 5 in Idaho right now. But yeah, if you're watching this and thinking that you can beat them, do it. Come on over. We have our list being built right now. We've got the top 16 in Idaho. If you think that you can break top 16 in Idaho, come on down and try. It'll be a blast to have you. Scott just started a few months ago, and he's done very well. In fact, he's right now taking on Idaho number 5, and he's doing quite well for himself, actually. Spek is number 5 in Idaho, but in the world, last I checked, and it changes quite often, just like how our ranks change often here, but last I checked, he was 67 in the world, which is not bad at all. So, and Scott is, I believe, 104 in the world. So it's 104 in the world going against like 67 in the world right now. Switches to his left hand for that left hand. Oh, and he gets it. Beautiful shot. You know, it's really working for him. That left hand play style is actually working. He asked me day 1. He played at the arcade with me. And then he called me the next day and talked to me for an hour about air hockey. And that's all I'm like, whoa, this guy's really serious about this. And he said, hey, I'm a bit ambidextrous. I play with both hands generally, like when I do anything in life. Is there a benefit to that? And I said, well, not really. Like, you can get there's a few shots you can do with your left hand that a lot of people won't want to block very well, but that's about it. And he goes, well, then I'm going to do that. And I said, I don't think you'll want to, because when you switch your hands, another left wall over, I said, but when you go to switch your hands, you leave yourself vulnerable. You can see he's only switching when he has a good opportunity to do so. And that left-hand play style is actually taking Spek on right now. Spek already said that. He's like, I think I got this game. I know how to beat him. I got this. And so I bet you that right now, Scott is getting in Spek's head. In fact, right there, Spek loses possession, allowing Scott once again to get another point. There it is.
Dude, I'm impressed with this match, honestly. And it's just fair for me to kind of see that, honestly.
He puts his left foot behind it. Oh, went for the right wall under and barely missed, but he's right now up 3-6. Spek sets it up. Goes for the left wall over, barely misses, but retains possession. And that's key. It doesn't matter if you miss as long as you keep possession. But there he goes. He loses possession. Scott goes for the cut, or the cross, misses. Goes for the cut again, misses again. Ooh, but now, see, that's his defensive capability with his left hand. He doesn't have that down yet. So that's why he keeps defending with his right hand, because when he was on the offensive with his left hand, he wasn't able to retain possession. So until he gets his left hand worked out more, get the muscle memory down, he's going to have that issue. He goes for the shot, left-handed. Misses it. Could be his point to get his first game in the second set.
I wonder, is some of the people in the current 16 that are set for the tournament actually like new players?
Yeah.
Oh.
Brandon today, he played, and he almost beat, he's like 2 games away from beating Anthony. He's rated 16, but Anthony's rated like 1 or 2 above him. And so, yeah, there are some new players, but I will say that they've been coming now each week. And so I'll say new as in like 2 weeks old, if you will, but they've gotten some training and they've learned really quick. That's really the difference in this game. If you're a quick learner, that's going to make all the difference for you. Mm-hmm. If you aren't able to put the practice in, then you're not going to excel very far. This game takes a lot of practice. I'm blessed to have these tables at my house, and I can practice whenever I want to, right? Uh-huh. And so I have an advantage over some players that don't have that. There it is. Scott takes the first game for him in the second set. It's now 1-1 in the second set. Scott's going to need a lot more of those, though, to take this title away from Spek. Up at the screen there, you can see those dots. Those show how many games have been won in the current set. Uh-huh. Bringing us to game 3.
And it's not going to be a shutout.
No, it's definitely not a shutout. And that's the thing that I'm really surprised, because I expected Spek to win this, but I didn't expect Scott to be able to hold himself so well on this. He's really holding himself well.
Yeah. And we're back in the match with Scott and Spek, ready to go.
You know, I stand corrected. He's Idaho 9 versus Spek, who's 5th.
Oh.
Great shot. I'm having a hard time knowing what to call those shots because he hits it with his left hand. Is it still called a cut or a cross? I don't know. All I know is that Scott, he's really got something with this whole left hand playing against Spek.
That left hand might as well be a knife in this game, as it didn't cut Spek this time, as he is ready for a shot. And it went back to Scott.
But Scott's keeping possession. I mean, I've said this before a lot. His possession is most of the game itself. If you are able to retain that puck, if you give the puck away, if he hits it and then Spek snags it, that's the same. Like right there, perfect example. That is akin to a fumble in football or a turnover in football. Because if the person has the football, they're either going to score some points or make it really hard for you to. And so now Spek has it. He's probably going to get a point right here, right? Because he's got possession.
Until Scott gets the possession, and now he has a chance to score a second point. I did say a chance, though, as it goes back to...
Beautiful block by Scott there. Switches back to his right hand for defense. Goes for the right hand shot. See, that's a shot that he does that I think he needs to mask better. He really gives away what he's going to do, and so it's easily blocked. Good shot.
All right.
Who won?
Me.
Nice. Okay, but he was challenging up, or were you challenging up?
I was challenging him.
Oh, you got it.
I state rank.
Dude, oh, that's awesome. Hey, congratulations. I hope you have it written down. We can take a picture of it and post it so you can get some stat points.
Okay, I need to sort it out correctly. We didn't keep the actual scores, but we do have win-loss. So first set was 4-2.
You didn't keep the scores?
Yeah, we didn't calculate how many.
Oh, that's fine, but you have whoever what the points were.
We have win-loss and sets is what we have.
When you say win-loss, you mean you have the exact points?
No.
You didn't keep the points?
No, we didn't keep just the games.
But you have the games, 2 to 3 or 2 to 7,
yeah.
7 to 6. Okay, that's perfect. Good. All right. Awesome. Are you taking off right now?
Yeah, I'm really tired now.
All right. Is he taking off?
I think. Hey, Austin. You taking off?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, if you guys want, you can always do commentary with me. It looks like timeout's called. If you guys want to, you can always help out with commentary or reffing. But if you guys are good to go, then head out. Congratulations, though. Austin, thanks for coming. We all have to be here every Monday for the next month, and then we're good to jump in. If you can't, let me know. We'll knock you off the list. But for this month, everyone has to be available to challenge and be challenged. And then once the tournament starts, then you only have to show up for your game that's called. So only 3 more weeks. So basically, you just have to throw up for the next 3 weeks is the idea. But it's exciting because today we had 6 or 7 challenge matches today, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And awesome.
I need to get back into my rhythm. I was really rusty for the first set.
Dude, well, I mean, Landon came back after a year and he's won both challenge matches so far.
Yeah, I came
And
back.
I don't understand how he's able to do that and not play for so long, then come back and just, wreck.
I'm gone for 3 weeks because work's chaotic, and I'm rusty.
Oh,
3
man.
weeks and I'm rusty.
Hey, but you won your game, and what place does that put you on the list?
What were you?
I was 8 or 9.
Okay, we'll have to go and look and we'll have to adjust everybody on the list because after today...
You just saw number 9, so he's got to be 8th, right?
Possibly. But maybe now it switches, so right now, Scott might be 1 more rank lower than he was because that game just finished, so... Spek scores another point, making it 2 to 3. Bye, guys! Thanks for coming.
Oh, and the puck goes flying off the table. You don't want to do that.
Beautiful.
Which...
Right wall under. Oh no, Spek scores on himself. It is now 4 to 3. Scott in the lead, which right now is detrimental. If he's able to get 1 more point, you always want a 2-point lead, I believe, is my favorite buffer, right? Because right now if he scores on himself, it's 4 to 4, right? But if he can get 1 more point, it'll give him a nice comfortable lead. Oh nope, there it is. See, now we're looking at 4 to 4. And now his chances of winning are that much more slim. Spek has already won the first set.
So if he wins this set, then it is Spek winning the whole match.
Exactly. So Spek needs to win 3 more games, and then he's won this whole match. Scott needs to win 3 more games to win the set, and then 4 more games to win the next set. Best 2 out of 3 is how we play this. Spek sets it up, taking his time. Oh, see, he's baiting. Do you see him bait Scott? He's baiting him right now to pull out like that so he can get the right wall under done. So they each asked for my advice right before this game started. And I told Scott, you need to mask your shot. You know, like this right here, do you see how that's like kind of showing what he's doing? So he needs to mask that a little bit better. And I said to do a cut shot because Spek is weak to the cut. But for Spek, what I told him to do to Scott is I said, you need to bait him. Scott will always come way out and try to charge. Watch Scott. A few of these times, if Spek goes slow, Scott will actually come out and leave his goal wide open. And he does it a little bit prematurely still. Oh, no!
You hate to see it, man.
Scott scores on himself. Come on in.
Or not, I'm supposed to knock or not.
Nope, just walk on in. You're good.
We're taking off.
Oh, 6-6 now. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you had a good time. Landon did great. He comes in after not playing for a year and wins his match today. He won his match last week, too.
Nice.
So he's just killing
I
it.
told him I'd have him here every Monday, so
Awesome. Thank you
I make
for
it a
doing
point
it.
to make sure he's here.
Yeah, he's doing great. And so we got 3 more weeks. Oh, Scott wins it, taking the win for the second game now in the second set. Scott needs 2 more games to win this set. You taking off, Landon?
Just a second, yes, sir.
No problem. Hey, good job today, guy. By the way,
Yeah,
you
he was
did.
telling me you did good.
Yeah, dude, you did awesome. You've played 2 challenge matches now and won both of them after not playing for like a year. It's good stuff. Who did you play last time? You played Nubs last time, and this time Matt.
Now Matt. Next week's.
And Matt's the one that's rated right below you.
Yeah. I think next week is you. Yeah.
You gonna challenge me next week?
Yeah.
I'm down. Sam's challenging me next week, and I have no problem. I'll definitely do 2 games. No, it's, no,
You're gonna
I'm
win
down.
both of them.
Well, no, I'm down. I'll play both of them. I'll play. It'll probably be him first. Is how we'll do that, and then I'll play you second.
Okay.
We'll go by like.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
go by
I like that idea.
rank.
So that I don't wear you out, and then you lose to second place when you shouldn't have.
No, I mean I'll be
You
worn
two
out
are
by the time I
closer.
play against you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I last time I played against you, to be honest, you played better against me today and yesterday, or today and last week than he did today because he was injured. So
Yeah, I got you.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do Sam after I do you. Challenge Sam after I challenge you.
Understood. Wow, game just started and Scott is already up 2.
1 and 2.
Now it's 1-2, yeah. All right, gentlemen, thanks for coming. Make sure to grab a drink on your way out or pizza, whatever's left laying around. Go ahead and grab it. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
You got it. Good job, Landon. You know, we really should get better at like muting our microphone, but to be honest, it's kind of fun for all of you to really see the type of family that we have here. It's not about playing air hockey.
I almost think of it like it's a community, I guess. Like it's a community. Like you could see, like in our area, that we're like very community friendly.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I like the game. I mean, I've met all these guys through it. Actually, Spek, I've got such a funny story with this guy. So, I was going to the arcade almost every day, and I was practicing, getting ready for my big going to the ESPN Invitational in Houston. And so I was going there every day, when making sure the kids were in bed. So I just go late at night and I'd play for a few hours, And I was looking for what I call my Mr. Miyagi. I was looking for a person that would just have tons of skill that I could practice against and that would train me. And the owner of the arcade, Jeremy's Arcade in Nampa, by the way, I would love to plug that business. It's such a great business to go to. It's $4. It's going to be changing to $5. And all you do is pay $5 and get to play all day. Every game, including the air hockey table, is set to free play. So for $5, you get to play air hockey infinitely there for the day. But Jeremy would practice with me a bunch, but he was always busy a big chunk of the time also. Having people when they pay to get in and all that. So I was always looking for my Mr. Miyagi, my guy that would be able to train with me and teach me how to play, someone that was already really good.
So you're finding your master.
My master, exactly. And
Master Shifu.
So I'm there one day, and in walks Spek, right? And he walks up to the table, and I'm just kind of standing next to the table, just pretending like I'm not looking, right, on my cell phone, just to see if he would start playing air hockey. And he's got a headband on, and he puts a headband on. I'm like, whoa, this guy's serious. And he puts on the table, he puts down some gloves and like a water bottle, and you know, like I could tell like he's about to play, and he uses gloves. Who uses gloves? Right? And I got so excited, like, this is it. This is my master. This is going to be the dude that's going to teach me how to play.
This is your master sheet,
And he puts on his gloves, he grabs his drink, and then he turns around and starts playing the video game that's on the other side of the table. That was like on the he started playing My is what it's called. It's a very fast game. He's actually probably one of the best as far as I know. And I was so bummed out because I'm like, that was it. That was my Mr. Miyagi. Here he is. And so I asked him, like, hey, do you play air hockey? He's like, no. And I'm like, what do you want? He was like, no. You know, and it took months and months of me playing, and then suddenly we started getting more and more players, and he finally started to try, and he wasn't as fast at air hockey as it was at My. My is a really fast rhythm playing game. It's the one where you push the buttons at the same time as the beats hit.
Okay.
But then he started playing, and now he's one of the top players in Idaho. He's also revered by a lot of the Texan players as the next best thing in Idaho. They all say that he's going to be one of the best players in the world because they see how intelligently he plays. He really studies his opponent. So here's a funny thing. Was he my master at the time? No. Was he the Mr. Miyagi I was looking for? No. Did he become my Mr. Miyagi? Yes. There's been a lot of games I've been losing, and then he'll walk up to me and be like, why are you doing it like this? Instead, I want you to do this instead. And he'll give me the tips and tricks to help me win that game. He studies the game very well. It might not seem like he's studying this game. It might just seem like he's doing the same thing over and over again. But right now he's studying every move that Scott's making, and he's figuring out how to block it, how to return, how to attack, right? But I will say, even with that being said, Scott's really holding his own. 4 points.
That's insane.
To 5. Yeah, and Scott's won 2 games in this set. This set, Scott is really taking it to Spek. And he's as far as I can see, the one of the most improved players in Idaho. Being at Idaho ranked 9, taking on 5, and technically right now winning. I mean, he's behind a set still, but winning in this set, that's not bad at all. It's very impressive. If you currently are watching, we would love you guys to leave some comments and let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to answer any ruling questions. If you have questions about the rules, you have questions about gameplay, questions about terminology. If we say something like right wall under, or that was a beautiful cross or cut, let us know. I'd love to explain it to you if you don't know that already. Great cut or a cross there by Scott.
That is, yeah, wow.
Tying it up 5-5. If Scott gets the next 2 points, he'll only need one more game to take the set.
But Spek only needs 2 points to make this a tied set.
And then 2 more games to win the entire game, yeah.
Yeah.
Timeout called. I don't know who called the timeout, but...
I think it was Scott. Because
Yeah, but
I'm watching him, like, dry his head for some reason.
But you can't call a timeout unless the puck is out of play or in your possession. And it's neither. It was in play on Spek's side, so I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it was just a friendly timeout there.
Wait, that's a thing?
A friendly timeout?
Yeah, friendly timeout.
I mean, if you see somebody struggling, you call a timeout for them, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Maybe I thought it was a bad idea to do that sort of thing.
It depends if you want to win or not. So, there it is, 7-5. Spek takes that game, now putting it 2-2 in the second set. Actually, I would have to give a shout out to Brandon DeMauro, because in my very first game against him, my ESPN Invitational, I did very bad. I thought I was going to do really great. I just flew in from Idaho, and I was really excited to play, and I got absolutely shut down. And then I was playing my the spin-off games afterwards, and I went up against this guy named Brandon DeMauro. And Brandon absolutely crushed me. However, in the last game, he was up to 6 points, and I had 3, and I was so mad I wasn't even caring anymore. All my shots were terrible shots, and I didn't even care. But at 6 points, and I scored one. He scores his 6th point against me, so now it's 6-3, and he calls a timeout. And I thought, why did he call a timeout? But he just looked at me. That's all he did, is he just looked at me. And the look that he gave me is hard to explain, because no matter how I make it sound, it's going to sound like he did it to be mean. But it wasn't. He gave me this look like, what are you doing? Why are you giving up right now? Like, don't give up. You push it and you make it work, right? And so I started playing a lot harder. I got, I don't know, maybe one more point. He still beat me. But then on my next game that I went up against, I crushed that person because I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to give up. I flew all the way out here. I paid a lot of money to be here. I'm going to win this, right? And then I won my next game and my next game after that. I won my next 3 games in a row and then barely lost my 4th game after that. And I didn't even remember who it was. Like, I didn't know his name at the time because I was brand new to air hockey. And I finally later found out who it was and let him know about it. He didn't even remember. He was like, I don't remember that at all. He had no idea that had even happened. But it meant a lot to me because it snapped me out of it. I would call that a friendly timeout.
That is absolutely incredible. Like, I know I've done it once, maybe once. No, guaranteed one time. And it was against, like I was in, like, one of our Sunday tournaments. I think it was the only time I ever went. And one of my opponents was a 6-year-old girl. And I was, like, completely stomping her. And then she finally got a shot in. And I was like, the parents right there, I kind of feel bad. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a friendly guy. This is going to be stupid, but I'm going to be nice. Time out.
Yeah, it's good to give someone some breathing room, and if you see someone struggling, and I've tried it against some people, and they just end up getting really upset. It's almost like you're taunting them. But it's like, if I see someone really struggling, I'll call a timeout, and if I want to do it in a way that I don't want them to think I'm being cocky, I will call a timeout and act like I have to do something or fix something. In reality, I want them to play their best. Why? Because nobody wants to win somebody when they're not playing their best. Because then I'll have no idea if I was actually better or not. I'll have no idea if they were playing... You know, today, for example, Sam wasn't playing his best. Why? Because he had an injury. Oh, beautiful shot!
That's amazing.
That was a good cut. Scott's up 5-2. Is he able to close out this set? Or is Spek going to take the lead here? But... yeah, if I see someone's really struggling, like Sam today, he had a hurt finger, but he still played his best game that he could for today. So that's a little bit different. But, you know, if he was struggling and I wanted him to regain his composure, I would just call a timeout for myself. Or in between games, I'll just let him know, hey, man, you need to snap out of it. Come on. Like, we know that we're a family, and nobody wants to see you playing like that right now. You need to take it up a notch, and don't worry about it. Have some fun. Shake it off, basically. A very common thing you hear when you're in Texas and you see them cheering for each other when they're playing, is you hear them say, shake it off a lot. If somebody scores on themselves, they'll say, shake it off, because you shouldn't dwell on it. If you dwell on a point that you scored against yourself, you're sure to lose. You shouldn't worry about the point that just happened. You should be worried about the point that's about to happen. Scott right now set up to win the 3rd game, 6-2.
Oh.
Can Spek pull back? I don't know if he's able to pull that many points out in this amount of time. Oh! Scott scores on himself. Spek is still in the doghouse. They call it the doghouse when you're 3 points below. So Spek is still in the doghouse right now. There it is. There's the point.
That's crazy that he's able to redeem himself even after he just shot a goal in himself. But I guess that's having some pretty good, what was it that you said earlier? Composure?
His composure.
Composure,
yes. So this is going to bring us to the 6th game. I did not expect this. I expected it to be, you know, maybe Scott winning 1 or 2 games. I did not expect it to be Scott in the lead 2nd set. And it's really fantastic to see how fast our guys are growing here, because Spek has played double what Scott has. Spek has double the experience. But not just that, Spek has been to Texas and has learned with the absolute best players, as well as having the Texas players came out here and did a training, and Spek learned that and played in another tournament. So he not just has, I wouldn't even go as far as to say double the experience. I would actually say triple the experience with double the time. And Scott is adapting. Ooh, beautiful cut shot by Spek on that one.
Yeah, I'm impressed, honestly. And I guess now I know, like, the type of timeouts I did. Like, it's not necessarily, like, stupid that I called a timeout for the little girl that absolutely...
No, you want your opponent to play their best, because if they play their best, isn't that going to help you to grow and play your best too?
No.
Right? If every time you played against me, I let you win. Every time I played really soft and let you win every time, would you grow as a player? Not much. But what if every game I stomped you, right? Absolutely crushed you. Which which would grow faster? The you that's being let win and being played easy on, or the you that is having the hardest struggle to just barely get a few points in? Which one do you think will grow faster? And the answer is the one that has to struggle. You know, there's a phrase, a quote that says, a calm sea never made a skillful sailor, right? How good of a sailor are you going to be? Would you trust a sailor that's never, ever, ever been in a storm ever? No, because he has no experience of what to do when he's in one. But what if you found a sailor that has been in a million storms, right? That'd be an easy guy to trust because he has gone through it all. And it's the same with this game here. And this is just a testament to, oh man, these are great shots back and forth. It is a testament to Scott because he has been now playing, not for a very long time, but he has been training with me. He's been training with, oh, that's fantastic. He's now 1 point away from winning the second set.
Oh my god.
That will put this to a tie game. 1 set to 1 set. He sets up the shot. Oh, he misses it, but he still keeps possession.
That's important.
I think he's gonna pull it off in this set. There it is. He scores the point. Even Spek is smiling because he's not expecting this. Scott's just coming out of nowhere with these shots. Fantastic. And that right there is the end of the second set. Spek just walked in. Spek, what happened, dude?
I let him win 1 set.
Scott, congratulations. Oh, you let him win? I don't know.
That's why I said, told you.
Okay.
I told you.
All right, Scott, crush him the second set. Prove it wasn't him letting you win.
Nah, there's no way he let me win.
Oh, no. Let's see.
You saw me turn up like the last 2 points.
I don't know. But I will say that this is a really, really fun game to watch. This is a fantastic game to watch.
Oh my god, I have to mask every freaking shot.
What does that do? Oh, sets.
Oh, adding the sets. It's telling you what sets.
I got it. I'm learning just like all the viewers.
No joke going up against Spek.
No, dude. I was proud of you for challenging him. He's a fantastic player. He's one of the best. And when the Texans come out here, they're like, Nathan, you do good and all. And so does, Sam and Jacob and blah, blah, blah. But Spek, that guy, he's going to be one of the best players if he just keeps practicing. My goodness, that guy. And they always go off about Spek and how intelligently he plays. You're playing what the Texans consider one of the most intelligent players, at least in our area. So you, I mean, your left-handed stuff seems to be working against him. I wasn't expecting that to work against him, but it's working. I mean, I normally would say stick with one hand, but if it's working for you,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to be starting back here in a second with our next set. These guys need a second to take a break here and think about what they've done. Spek, no, I was kidding. It's going to be a good game. I have a special message for you, Scott. So in chat, I see a certain Crystal Arnold says to you, tell my son I am so proud of him. So I just want to let you know that your mom says, go Spek. Just kidding. So yeah. No, it's you got some viewers watching
my
it.
hardest one game right there, like that. Those matches, dude, that was nuts.
No, dude, I'm watching you, and I was just saying, I'm like, Spek not only has twice the amount of time spent in playing air hockey, but I would even go as far as to say 3 times the experience, because not only has he played just tons of challenge matches or tons of matches, but he's gone to 2 different tournaments. One of them he went to Texas and got trained by them when they came here. So this dude has a lot of experience. And so you being able to hold your own and win any games at all is, to be honest, unexpected. That sounds mean, but I'm like, no, my money's on Spek. We'll see. We'll see in the third set. We'll see. We'll see in the third set.
World's mode is when the belt comes off.
Oh,
That's like my biggest pet peeve. If somebody
yeah, don't let him win. Don't do it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
all I got in this
so if he wins a third set, are you gonna say you let him win that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says yes. Oh man, that's fun. The house is empty at this point, huh? I think everyone else has booked it. All right.
Yeah, it's just us 4, I think.
Alrighty, well, hey, I'm gonna let you guys go grab a snack or something. Go take a break here. I'm gonna go and say goodnight to my daughter real quick, and then we'll dive back in to the very last game, the very last set. So actually, what I should do at some point is I need to go back in and reset all this. Actually, I can wait for 1 second. We'll go back in and do this.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in just a second. Continue hanging out here. In fact, if you want to do us a favor, you who are watching, instead of tuning out right now, because this is going to be about 2 or 3 minutes, instead take that time to let your friends know. If one of these guys is your buddy's playing, reach out to a friend and say, hey, you got to watch this game, encourage him. We see one person typing in chat right now. That's not good enough. We need more people than that. So go ahead and let your friends know. Have them subscribe. Have them share this. Get the word out so that we can make this a little bit bigger. You know, one thing that we're needing right now, we're needing jerseys. You can see both these guys don't have a jersey right now. We would love a sponsor. We'd love to get a sponsor out here, get a jersey made, and maybe have you or your company's name on our jersey. That'd be fantastic. You can see the banner in the background. If you'd like your name on that banner, let us know. We can work out a deal. And we would really love to get some sponsorship. So I'll be right back in just a second, but hang tight. Okay, we'll jump back in here. Hello, welcome back, welcome back. There's not enough chocolate in this house. There needs to be more. You know, I'm a disgusting person. I'll tell you that, Eli. I like to take brownie mix and mix it up and eat it out of the bowl.
That's actually not that disgusting.
Without
I've heard of
cooking
worse. I actually do worse than that. Give me a second.
I know we need to reset everything. Everything ready? Are you guys ready to jump in again?
I don't know. We're still probably in the bathroom.
Oh, all three.
Yeah.
We're gonna get used to that.
So just push these two buttons.
What is that? BSG1? Blue score, yellow
Sets.
score, game 1?
Blue sets.
I think you have to click sometimes. Yeah.
Huh. But that sounds like he's ready to go.
What does that do? It puts it at game 1?
No, these are just sets. So it
Okay.
just resets sets.
So Scott, you'll be on the left side then?
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Looks like we're ready to play our last set.
And while I was on break, I was able to check out the original 16. And, honestly, I think I could take one of those guys out. I actually think so. I'm not kidding.
Then do it. Do it next week, but you gotta be here. And the other thing is, if you're
I
gonna,
don't know if I could do it next week
Well,
or
so
the week
here's-
after. I like.
so
still
here's the
think
thing:
that-
if people are gonna jump on the list, they have to be here and they have to be committed because we're gonna be setting up the tournament, and everyone's gonna have to be here on their days that they are set to play, and that means they also have to be here for every week leading up to that.
So what would be the day that number 1 fights number 16?
The very first day of it'll be the first Monday in November.
Okay, and then like the next.
I'll have to
Monday-
map it all out. We don't have it mapped out
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
And we're going to do 2 games per day for the very first set of games, just to make things go a little bit faster, because I think those games will go pretty quick. Number 1 versus number 16, that game is probably not going to be a very long game.
Yeah.
And so we want to make that one a little more entertaining by having 2 games.
Especially knowing who is number 1, like.
Well, I mean, Sam could take it. Landon said he's going to go against me. It could be Landon. And so I'll never just assume it's going to be me, especially with how fast these guys are improving. I mean, look how fast Scott's improving. So we just talked to Spek and to Scott, and you know, Spek is saying that he let Scott win that game, and he said this game he's going to play really hard. But right this second, I'm seeing Scott still holding his own.
Which is impressive. Oh!
See, that's what I was afraid of happening. I think that Scott gets baited too easily. He will pull away from home. Oh, and he can't defend with his left hand very well either. So, but he will be baited by Spek. Spek will bait him out. So watch, see if Spek does it. Nope, he loses possession. Spek will bring the puck really close to the line, and then Scott will jump out after it prematurely, and then Spek shoots underneath it. Three to 5, Spek brought back up his score, so maybe he's really serious about this game. Uh-oh, that was a telegraph. Telegraph is when the other player can read what you're about to do. And right now,
Spek is taking the lead. He's done listening these rumors that Scott's improved to the point that he's gonna win this game. He's done with these rumors.
I don't think it's just that. I think that right now Spek is pulling Scott into a fast game, and Spek has the speed over Scott. And so if he's playing really, really fast, hitting. So watch, let's see if Spek just. Do you see how that happened?
Oh!
So, great example right there where.
Yeah, let's watch a replay.
But my point is that Spek was hitting fast, and so Scott didn't set it up. Why did he just shoot that last one so fast? Why didn't he set it up for a second? And the answer is that, Spek brought him into that fast game. He sort of baited him into that fast game.
Yeah, we gotta reset the score, and Scott already has a point. They both have a point.
Yep, I'm on top of it.
Yep. I'm making sure I'm watching the game for you guys so that we could get this.
So, just for anybody watching now, to really to explain what's happening right here is right now it's as tight as it can possibly be. They've each won one set. Actually, Spek has the advantage of having one game in this set. And now he's up 2-1. So you can see at the top of the screen there above their names. Ooh, and Scott returns. You can see the top that they each that Spek has a dot over his name there, and one of those 4 dots that shows that he's won 1 game. Basically, now that they've each won 1 set, the first person to fill up those dots first wins. And those are each games. Oh no, Spek scores on himself, setting it 3-3. Beautiful shot,
Oh my
but it was blocked. Scott needs to set up his shot more. Needs to take his time. That was good. Oh no, scores on himself.
You can't do that to yourself, guys. You can't do that. Spek's getting ready for a shot.
He's going for the left wall. Okay, do you see how Scott jumped out? Oh, looks like it worked, but do you see how he pulled it out? And you see how Scott started to jump out? There it is. There's the cut. That's what Spek was going for originally. It's now 5-5. Ooh. Spek rushed it. Scott switching to his left hand. Loses possession. Spek scores on himself.
You gotta stop doing that, guys.
They can't hear you, so...
I know, like...
What we got here is now Scott is 1 point away from winning his first game in the second set, or the third set. Is he going to pull it off right here?
No!
Yes! He pulls it off. It bounces off of Spek's mallet, bringing this now 1 game to 1 game. It is now perfectly tied. We can see here that Scott now has that dot over his name, and this now brings it into the third game.
Where honestly, I think this is a pretty good match. I mean, this is really tight. Even with Spek playing at his best is what it looks like.
I wouldn't say he's at his best. He's very tired today. He came in and he had to do a lot of work to get the stream running. I'm really appreciative of him. So I don't think he's playing at his absolute best. However, I do not think he's playing easy right now. I don't think... Oh, no. Scores on himself. And so I don't think he's playing at 100%, but I would say he's at a solid 90 right now. Same with Sam. Sam earlier he has a broken finger on his left hand, but it's still a hand that you brace yourself with. You can see both players use their left hand on the table in some manner to brace themselves. It's very important to have yourself braced. In fact, there's a lot of new players that will keep their hand behind their back or something. They think it's like not allowed to use it. On the contrary, your hand can be anywhere. Your hand can be on the table as long as it doesn't touch the puck. Ooh. Scott set it up, took a very targeted shot, but Spek blocked it and then took possession, lost possession, just fumbles it. Is that going to cost him a point?
Ooh. Ooh. Scott's biting his time.
I think it's going to cost him a point. When you let go of a puck like that and you give it to the other player, you may as well just give them a point. Nope.
Oh, but Spek goes back with like a deflected.
We call that a jungle shot. It's a double wall that was just shot to make a shot, not really intentional, but it works. And now he comes out 3-0, putting Scott in the doghouse. Scott's 3 points behind. Is he going to be able to pull this off? He's going to need to get 7 points before Spek can get 4.
No way Spek is going to make this an easy fight as Scott is trying to find his first point.
Yep. I think that his left-handed style isn't working for him anymore like it was earlier today. There it is.
This is just a shutout. This is just... Wow. This is just putting him in the grave.
You know, I think that Spek was trying to prove a point that, you know, he was playing a little bit easier. And he really wanted to be a good match and want to give Scott a chance. And now he's proving that by showing, hey, look it, I can actually set myself apart. Shh. Beautiful. Right wall over. That right there is one of the better plays of this game. And immediately followed by a left wall by Scott. I don't know if Scott's going to be able to pull this game off, though, here. And if Spek wins this, he'll only need 2 more games to close out this challenge match. Beautiful charge.
Oh my god.
And I think I can catch that here. I don't know if I'm going to do it in enough time. Nope, I didn't catch it.
And Spek won the round.
Second game. Bringing us to game 4.
Wait.
Spek needs 2 more games to win this challenge match. And
Okay, yeah. We're
retain
on
his
game
stats. Yep.
Had to make sure. Had to double check our little scoreboard here.
So if you see here, what we have is, and it's best 2 out of 3. They each won 1 set. So the first of 2 sets wins this.
But
And-
honestly, I think Spek is definitely more favored this time around because if you look at the points, he's 5 or more
Right.
compared to only 1 set where Scott has had 4 or more points.
Yep. And I think that you're right. I mean,
that's just an incredible shot from Scott right there.
loses possession, and Scott can't afford that right now. Ooh.
Oh! That's just gonna hurt.
Spek is very surgical with how he plays. I mean, that right there was a little bit of a, just a hope shot, but he's very, watch this. He pulls it out, off-speed left wall, goes for the cut, goes for the right wall. I mean, in that 10-second time frame, he tried 3 different shots, so he's trying to pick Scott apart shot by shot.
Spek is actually way more terrifying of an opponent than I thought, honestly.
No, he studies everything, and it's hard to...
That's exactly why he's such a terrifying opponent. It's because of the studying mind he has.
The thing is that I would even go as far as to say that he's even better of a mentor than he is a player, and he's a fantastic player. But right now, if he was watching any other game, instead of playing one, he could right now say exactly what both people need to do to win their game. And not just by a little bit. I mean exactly. Hey, you need to take your offense, move it 2 inches to the left. You need to hit an over, and then an under, then an over, blah, blah. I mean, he goes into detail. When he's ever helping me out, he's like, all right, well, here's what you need to do. Your release is coming off, and it's way too noticeable. You are telegraphing your release. And what he says by that, and what he means is, when you go to hit the puck, you're giving away where it's going to go, and the person's able to block it. You're being predictable. You need to not be predictable anymore. Ooh, he almost sunk that.
Oh
Beautiful,
my God,
beautiful
that's
cut shot.
incredible.
And it's a surgical. It is precision. Getting a puck to go within that exact inch that you want it to. Oh, it does it again, back to back.
Whoa!
It was 3-4. Now it's 5-4, and Spek just needs 2 points plus
to win
1
the game.
2 points plus 1 game to win the match. In fact,
Ooh.
left wall. Now it is 1 point away, and then Scott loses possession. He gets it back. Can he score a point off of this? Can he bring the? He might be able to bring this back. We'll see. It's 6-5 now.
At least he both stepped it up, which is making this a really good match.
It's no shutout though.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
there
anything
it is.
but a shutout. And you could see the frustration of Scott at the end.
Well, I mean, I would be frustrated too. I mean, right? He could have won that, and it would be tied up 2-2. But instead, now it's 3-1, and Spek just needs one more game. Yep.
To end this match.
You can see Spek looks real happy right now. And the puck starts on the right-hand side, giving him the advantage. Loses possession. Oh, but he topped it. He topped the puck. Scott put the mallet on top on accident. It goes back to Spek.
I wonder if it's a thing where you could lift the mallet up for a second, not touch the puck.
Yeah, you could lift it up all you want. You can walk away. You can pick up your mallet, walk away from the table. You just can't let go of your mallet. You can pick up the mallet. Walk. There's a player who frequently walks away from the table. He'll pick up the mallet, walk away from the table, look back at you, wave, jump back on, and hit the puck. It is not a good thing to do. I highly suggest against it. Phil, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I like to keep my playstyle on the table.
But it actually sounds fun, though. I'm not gonna lie. It does sound fun.
He's an amazing player. And he keeps trying different things to see what works and what doesn't. He wants to find the future of air hockey and what that looks like.
That's an interesting perspective.
Because the question right now is, do we think that the styles that we have are the best they could ever be? Is there any better way to play the game? And he thinks the answer to that is no. And I would have to agree with him. I don't think we found every best strategy, every best style.
Honestly, I have to agree too. I think our air hockey games here are actually really, really good. But I think like if you get really creative and you try like a little bit of everything, you could maybe try to find a style where you could potentially be the best player if you find the right play styles for the right moments and such.
I don't mind any of that. Oh, beautiful play. Fantastic. He charged it and then stuffed it. They call that being stuffed. If Spek hits it and it immediately bounces into his goal by the other player, that's being stuffed. It was a great play, putting Scott in the lead. Man, and Spek keeps losing possession this round. Oh no! Scott scores on himself even when he had possession. Goes for the left hand to see if it's going to work for him again. I actually think that he should not do that anymore. I think that it worked for the time, and I think that Spek is not letting that happen.
Oh
yeah, exactly. I think he needs to stick to the right hand right now. Spek tried to charge, and it was successful. He gained possession.
Spek is buying the time.
So like I was saying, I don't mind when players experiment with the game. I don't like it when they experiment with stuff off of the table. When they try to do distracting stuff, yelling, singing, dancing, running around. Because you can play on the side of the table. You can stand on the side and play from there. But does that mean you should? No. I think that it doesn't help show skill as much as it just shows who can be distracted easier. Being distracted is part of the game, I think, to an extent. But I don't think it should be that much of a thing because it can get carried out of hand. What's to stop me from taking a giant umbrella and covering my side of the table up? What's to stop me from putting a leaf blower in my sleeves and blow air on the table so the puck never goes in, right? And so I think that there needs to be some respect for the table itself. Spek is now 1 point away from winning this challenge match. It is now, and there it is. That was
there goes Spek.
For the last play. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that on replay. But Spek takes on the last point. I don't think I caught it. I was a second late.
I don't think you did, no.
That's all right. All right. You proved your point, Spek. You did your, I mean, hey, but he got a game. What happened there?
I got tired.
Awesome game. Still just match break, yeah? Or is there a different name?
That was it.
All right. You guys want to come in here and do some commentary real quick?
Sure, man.
So,
Yep. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to move the chair.
How
It won't
about
move.
How about stand to move the chair? So, all right. So we got the guys in here. So man. Okay. So Spek, what happened there? You said you figured him out, and you said you're not going to let him win that one. And I can see there's a big change in this set from the last set. But he still held his own. He still got quite a few points in there. So what happened in that last set?
Yeah,
I'll put the mic up to him.
Points.
Just leave it right here.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, all his points was from his left hand cross. You know, it goes into my cut side, my cut side, and my weak side, basically. So yeah, a majority of his points were actually that one shot he kept doing.
Right.
And he got a couple lucky overs and stuff. But yeah, you know.
I mean, I saw that you definitely shut down his left hand that game. Actually, I was saying in here, I'm like, yeah, he needs to stop using his left hand this game. It worked in the other two sets, but not this one. He needs to stop using his left hand because you became wise to it, basically. Scott, what do you think? What helped you win the second set and the second game and the third set, and what wasn't working?
I think with the second set, it was just constantly masking shots and mixing stuff up like all the time as much as I could. I basically really honing in on that center game with that crossover with the left, because even though he knew it was coming, it's one of the ones that's easy to get in, like he was saying. But at the end, he was just preparing for it. Main thing is my accuracy that's just I'm needing to improve on. That's always seems to be the bane of things.
I don't know. You had some fantastic. I mean, I'm very impressed this game. I know that sounds mean, and I hope you don't hate me for saying this, but you know, one thing I like to do is you know, try to guess who's going to win the game, right? That's what we say at the start of every commentary is who do we expect to win this? We're like, well, Spek should easily win this. But I mean, you're challenging way up. He's not the guy right above you. He's quite. You're what, 9? I think. Yeah. To be honest, I think now you actually are 10 because Andrew won his game earlier today.
Oh really?
So he took he beat Austin.
Oh cool.
And so you might have gotten bumped down one, but so you are challenging up. It's not like the guy right next to you. I mean, the two earlier matches today was 1 versus 2. 3 versus 4, and then 5 versus 9, right? So you came in and you challenged way up, so like, there's no way. And you were able to take a set, not just that, but you had a lot of great shots against him. he has, like I said, twice the actual time spent playing, probably more than that, but and roughly 3 times the actual experience being trained by world pros. You know, you've been trained by us here, but some of us here were trained by people in Texas that are like world masters. And we flew one guy out. Doug Howard came out here and stayed with us for a week, and just trained us in depth. I mean, I couldn't even go to bed. There was a night where it was like 2 in the morning. He's like, one more thing. I'm like, okay. And then he teaches me, goes, wait, one more thing. I'm like, Doug, I can't, my brain can't, I can't handle the amount of knowledge you're pouring into me right now. I need to go sleep and reevaluate my life choices and then come back and relearn this. But, so you were playing against somebody who's been trained by masters, and you held your own, and only after, how long have you played for now?
I think it was February this year, wasn't it? Thereabouts.
I believe so. So it's only been a few months. Yeah, it's only been, what, 6 months or so?
Like that,
February,
yeah.
8 months. So you playing for a relatively short period of time versus Spek and being able to hold your own pretty well, that's fantastic, dude. And I saw you yesterday at the arcade, and you went up against Kit, and Kit barely beat you. The only way he beat you is he baited you out. Actually, that's my advice to Spek today. I said, just bait him out. And I think
He wasn't coming out a lot.
He didn't. I think he only baited you twice, or maybe once. I was really surprised because that was my one piece of advice to Spek. I'm like, just bait him, he'll come out.
He knows my
didn't.
playstyle.
Yeah,
Baiting me or Kit?
Baiting you. Kit baited you, and he won yesterday. Today, Spek baited you, and you didn't go for it. Baiting meaning...
I feed off you pushing out.
Yeah, so...
And he knows that.
Baiting meaning if I bring the puck really close to the line I'm about to hit,
Right.
you prematurely jump out. And if you prematurely, then I can get you on the under. But you didn't do that versus Spek. So the one piece of advice I gave Spek today didn't even work for him because you had already adjusted. Well done.
And I was really glad some of those slams got in there too, jumping forward.
Yeah.
just at the right time.
I will say, like, when you came up with your right hand, a little bit of those were, like, telegraphed, but you did a really good job masking a lot of them. Spek is a very intelligent player, and you were still able to fool him a lot of times. That's saying something.
It's gonna help me in all my other games by far.
And that's the biggest question I have. So if you could right now go back in time before this game started, what would you tell yourself?
Well, I would tell myself that I need to basically just obsessively do masked shots. Like even if I feel like doing a shot that I know I can get, even if it's not masked, I need to just like force myself to just for like months just do only masked shots continually. Basically.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's what I need to just buckle down on, and I should have buckled down more before I.
If you're shooting a shot that's not masked, I definitely think it's a loss of a point.
Yes.
Because why? Because you will hit the shot, he's gonna stop it, gain possession, and score a point on you.
Right.
And so you have to mask everything. The question is, what do you want to mask it to look like? That's
Right.
where the
What do you want
real
mask it to look like?
intelligence of the game comes in. Okay, if I make this look like this, is he gonna buy it or is he gonna do this other thing? Right? Okay.
Right.
So I want to make. So instead of masking it to look like one other shot, if you mask all your shots. My wife just won her challenge match today versus Ian.
Cool.
And she said, he was reading my shots and he was stopping all of them. So then I decided to do them all the same from the middle of the table to make them all look the same. And then he couldn't read it because I couldn't read it. I was just doing them all the same. And I think that really seems to work for a lot of players at the higher levels. At the early levels, it's just hit the puck, hope to get it in the goal, right? And at the later levels, it's, okay, I'm going to hit it. Which way is he going to block? And if he's going to block over here, I need to make it look like it's going there and hit it somewhere else.
Right.
And you're getting there fast, really fast. I mean, I've been playing this for now almost, 2-something years, and you're now catching up to me already in a few months. That's impressive. Same with Spek. You're catching up with this guy. I guess the question I have for you is who are you challenging next week if you're going to challenge? I mean, I suggest you do. Who are you going to challenge?
I will probably challenge Matt Bentley, actually.
Really? That'll be a good game. Oh, man.
I won my last casual game against him, and there's been a couple handful I've won, so it's kind of like playing Spek, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But with Matt, it seems to be a little less technical with Matt, and he goes for those drifts a lot, and he's kind of I don't want to sound mean, but he seems a little bit more predictable than Spek is. Not by a huge amount, but just that ever so slightly. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Basically, my goal is basically as long as I can maintain not being beaten from below up. So basically, people who challenge me from up. That's my main focus. It's like I consider all of these like practice. So I try to win, of course, but I consider it. I look at it that way, basically.
I mean, and that's the best way to look at it. There's a lot of players that will actually run from challenge matches or drag them out as long as they can and then finally play. And I'm like, why? I'll play as many as I can because why? I learned from them. Would you say that you learned from today's match?
Oh, by far. This is gonna increase my game incredibly.
Yeah.
Against everybody else.
And it's a hard question to answer, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I will anyway. What did you learn today?
What I learned was specifically that with more experienced players, you absolutely have to mask shots. I know that with you and with Spek. It's like once you get to a certain threshold, it's like you can get away without masking on like the mid-tier. But once it gets to the more experienced stuff, it's just, you have to mask.
So
There's no way around it.
when I was playing Idaho against a bunch of these guys, and then I went to Texas, I got my butt absolutely handed to me. Why? Because all of the stuff that worked for me here didn't work against them. Why? Because they played against that for years and years and years. So what I would call a cheap shot, meaning I just barely got it back. I just gained possession, and instead of setting it up, I just do a really fast shot. That works against kids at the arcade.
Right.
It did not work against the Texans. They just stop it, laugh, and then score a point against me. And so it taught me right away, okay, I cannot, every possession I have is a gift, and I cannot waste that. I have to make that shot count. I either better get it back by hitting it hard enough so I get it back, or score a point. I don't have any other options. It's either get it back or score a point. So with that mentality, I will say that I watched 2 games today, 2 of the big challenge matches that we had. And one of the big differences I saw is that in the other game, it was Landon versus Matt, right? And Matt was playing a certain way, but then when it would become 6-6, he would play way different. He would play really, really well, right? He didn't win that one, but he played a lot different. I get really mad when I see that because I used to be that way too, where I screw around for the first few points, I start losing, oh no, they're at 6, and now I start getting very serious. And it's like, if people do that like I do, I think it's shame on them in a sense. You should be playing every single point like it matters, because it does. I mean, imagine a game where you got 6-7, all you needed was 1 point.
That's it.
So what if you could go back to the start of that game and just sneak out 1 more point? And so it sounds silly, but if you have the mentality of every point if you imagine your opponent has 6 points every single time, that you'll win. And I will say for you, watching this game, you didn't play that way. You weren't like screwing around at the start, trying dumb things out, and then getting serious when he's at 6. It was like every point mattered to you. Spek, is that how you felt?
No.
No. I love it.
I just play my hardest each point, each and every point. It's like if something doesn't work, I'll switch to a new playstyle. If that doesn't work, I'll switch to another one.
Yeah.
And then if I score on that, okay, cool. And then I'll switch back to the first playstyle just to throw him off a little bit more. He's expecting a certain playstyle.
Right.
One thing I've been showing a lot of newer players, and it's been helping with their defense, and I absolutely have to do it with Spek. Basically, I have to make sure to keep my peripherals always active so I can see the whole thing.
Right.
Because that's the only way to not get distracted by that little movement thing. It's really hard still, even then, not to get distracted by it. But yeah, it's really it's a good little technique, that little wiggly thing.
You know, one thing that I've heard from all of the pros is that air hockey is one of the few sports that you actually have to have an opponent to learn from and grow from.
Exactly.
And usually after the game is when they have the camaraderie and they tell each other how to get better. So, Spek, give some pointers to Scott. What would have made him win this game?
Oh, well, the thing with me is that everybody learns from me. Even Joey Liss said he's learned from me. Just watching me play, he's learned so much. And even people that played with me in the arcade, they learn so much just from playing with me.
Right.
And Scott has, learned just by playing with me. He knows what he's not doing. He knows what he should be doing.
Right.
There's just so much to take from playing someone that's better than you and someone who's actually like a good coach also.
Yeah.
And Brandon was doing really good too. Actually, he's been doing a lot.
It's crazy because he started 1 week ago.
Yeah, I've been coaching him pretty much continually.
And today he's literally 2 games away. If Anthony wins 1 game, Anthony will win that match. And if Brandon wins the next 2 games, he wins the match instead.
Brandon has been literally picking my brain for everything he can learn. I've showed him every single thing you showed me, and Spek and everybody else. I've just been drilling. It's basically, he's been like constantly asking me.
Are you already subscribed on the Center Line? Tim Wiseman has a channel called the Center Line.
I don't think I'm subscribed to that one.
Okay, you need to subscribe to that one. And so Tim Wiseman's a 10-time world champion. His kids all play, and Jacob Wiseman is 2nd or 3rd best in the world right now.
He's 3rd now.
3rd right now. And Sarah has come over here. I think you've met Sarah, played with Sarah, I believe. She's crazy good. And she's also the women's female champion this year. So he has got a channel, and he basically teaches good defenses, good offenses, different type of shots. It's called the Center Line. So
That's cool.
giving Tim Wiseman a shout out on here. All right, we're gonna end this off here. We hope you all have an amazing night. Once again, if you're watching this, please subscribe. If you're not already, please share this with your friends. We're trying to grow this, and you're seeing the very, very start of our tournament here in Idaho, and we would really love to grow this larger. If you would like to sponsor us, to sponsor a jersey, because you can see these guys aren't wearing the jerseys, go ahead and sponsor us. We'd love to put your name, your company's name on a jersey, on a banner, on an advertisement like you see at the bottom of our screen here. We would love to be sponsored by you. We would love to take your money. That's what I'm really trying to say here. All right, have an awesome night. Thank you so much, and bye.